Welcome back. So this video covers how to use the remote control key fob or the Android control app on my Knight Rider lights. This video is mainly for new customers or people that bought one a while ago that might not understand how the favorite list work. I'm going to go into a little more detail on some of the Android controls. I'm going to go into more detail on how the scan names are set up and show the full setup, which combines two videos I made a long time ago, and I'm going to go into a little more detail on everything. Here we go. So one of the options you can order my lights from is with a remote control key fob. Now the new ones I use look like this. They don't have the pull-out antenna like the older versions do. And what's kind of cool now is you actually get two of them. So I've actually had many customers in the past either lose or break their key fob, and there's no way you can add a new one because you have to program the frequency. So they'd have to take apart the electronic box and reprogram. So now you get two of them, you lose one, you're good to go. The key fob, it works pretty simple. It's the most basic of controls. Now this Knight Rider light has 34 scans and then 10 speeds per scan. When you set your speed for any scan, it remembers it. So you really only have to go through one time and set your speeds. But of course, you can adjust at any time. Now, if you want to go to the next scan, so this is scan number 1, what I consider the 2008 reboot Mustang scan where you have two hood scoops and they scan in and out. To go to the very next scan, you press button A, you'll hear a click, and you can go through as fast as you want through all the scans. And when you hit the final scan, number 34, when you press it again, it goes back to scan 1. So just kind of picture it's a loop. And then if you press button B, that goes back a scan. So if I'm going to go back to the original 2008 Mustang Knight Rider scan, there it is right there. So just kind of, again, think of both these as like a circle. If you go A, you're going up, you hit 34, the next one goes back to 1, or you can go backwards. Either way. Now your speed control is C and D. C is your faster speed, and every time you press it, you will see the Knight Rider light do feedback. It'll flash in the inner corners. And when you hit your fastest speed, some scans go pretty fast. You notice there's no more feedback and it's not changing anymore. So now button D, slow down, 10 speeds total, and it can go pretty slow. I'll take it all the way down to the bottom. I mean, that's just a little ridiculously slow for me. Notice it's not going any slower now. Speed it back up a little bit. And those are your basic scan up, speed down buttons. Now there's a couple hold commands. Now let's say you're at a car show and you want to show off all 34 scans. You hold down button A for about 3 seconds. Notice the feedback. You get a flash. So now it will run through every scan. It'll run each one 5 times, and then it goes on to the next scan and the next scan in a circle, and it'll keep running like that forever. Now, if you want to turn that off, because right now speed control, nothing is going to work. You can press anything you want, and everything is locked out because you are in car show mode. See, there's scan 2. So to turn it back off, again, you just hold down button A again. Got your feedback with the little lights, and now you're back into where I can control the scans. Like so. Same thing with speed lock. Now let's say you set all the speeds you like for every scan and you don't want to accidentally change them. You hold down button C. You get the feedback. Now you're in speed lock mode. I can change scans, but I can't change the speeds anymore. To turn it off, you just hold down button C again. And now I can change my speed again. Final command. So if you want to go back to scan number 1, that 2008 Mustang scan, you hold down button D. And now you're back to scan number 1. And that pretty much is how the remote control works. There isn't anything else to it. Alright, here is how you pair and set up the Android control. You have to get to your Bluetooth settings. So I'm in settings. Let's scan for a new connection here. It's going to show up at the bottom. Now it shows up as this DSD Tech HC05. Going to pair with that. The pairing code is 1234. Alright, it is paired. Now here, if you want to rename it, whatever you want to do, like normal, little gear, Rename at the bottom. I'll just leave it alone because this is only temporary. Now, let's launch the PFOD app. I have PFOD app version 3. They're usually about $10 on the Google Play Store. It changes time and time. We go into it. Let me pull back here. It's hard to get this big phone in this screen here. But anyway, I want a new connection here, so I'm pressing the Bluetooth in the lower left. You're going to find, it always shows up as DSD Tech on this app. It doesn't matter what you rename it in your Android settings. So I'm going to click on that. Now here you can rename it if you want at the very top. Now 2 things you have to do. Number 1, just keep alive in seconds. Make this 0. And this request PFOD time at the very bottom, uncheck that. If you don't do that, it locks up and freezes up all the time. Press save. Now that that's saved, let's go to the 3 dots on top here. Done. And that's it. Now you're ready to go into the app. This is the basic menu pattern on the light once you're in. You have, let's go down the list. KR scanner on. So from here, I could turn it off if I want to turn the LEDs off for a certain amount of time. Now, don't use that as your main power button because it likes to lock up the light if you have your Bluetooth connected and you walk out of range. So not sure why I even have that on there. It was one of the first things we added. The main menu you're always going to use is your scanner controls. Here in the middle, you have the name of the current scan. Right now, it's Cylon, kind of like the old Battlestar Galactica. Scan forward, scan back, speed up, speed down. So you can see as I go through, scan forward, you can go pretty fast through it. Let me go back to an actual scan. Here's the Lego scan. And now, like, let's say you want to speed this one up. And we go all the way to the top. When you hit the fastest speed, the button disappears. Slow it down, button comes back. Same thing. If you slow it down all the way, the down button will disappear. So forward, back, the name always shows in the middle. Some phones, the buttons might be bigger. It depends on the resolution of your phone. It's kind of tried to optimize it for the vast majority of phones. I've had a lot of phones. I've never had a phone where it's never hooked up. Now, when you're in this one, you want to go back. There's not really a good back button. So at the very bottom here, there's exit. Unfortunately, it exits the app. You go back into it, pick my DSD Tech again, and I'm back in again. So then you have your speed control. So if I want to basically turn speed control off, where my speeds are locked and I don't want to accidentally press them again, turn speed control off. So now when I'm in my scanner controls, you see speed up and down are gone. No longer there. Back out again. Pop back in. I'm going to turn that back on because I've really never needed to turn speed control off. You also have your scanner loop control. So this is, if you watch the part with the key fob, if you wanted to run in car show mode and run every scan, every strobe combined 5 times each, you would turn all scans on. You see it flash at you, and there it goes. It's going to go through every scan 5 times and loop back to the first scan. Let's go back to scanner loop control again. If you want to do only strobe and fade scans, you hit the strobe one on. It says in the main menu here. Now it's going to run every strobe and fade scan a certain amount of times, and it'll just keep looping it like that forever. Let's go back in here. Last one we have is our favorite scans. Now that one I need to explain. Right now I'm going to turn the scan loop off. And now really quickly, let me explain what the different types of scan mean. So you have your half scans, and that's what these are. Half scans mean picture each light bar combined as one light bar. And right now you have 2 moving lights, so it's like it's basically cut in half. You have 10 scans like that, including the original 2008 Night Rider light scan. So let me go through the different half scans really, really quickly here. All right, now these are your full bar scans, meaning it does the entire light bar back and forth. Again, you're just, some light bars I make are 1 solid light bar. The Trans Am and Mustang light, it's in 2 like that. You have 3 full bar scans. All right, there's the Comet. Now, after that, you have your quarter bar. So basically, you're cutting each bar in half. So you actually have 4 moving lights. So picture it's cut into 4 quarters. Now, in the quarter bar scans, there are 6 of them. These are the specialty scans. So this is what I call the Lego scan when it's building up like this and building and going away. There are 6 special scans. You have Lego, You have the PWM Lego where it slowly builds up. It looks much better with the light off. It's just I have the bright light on so it focuses on the phone. Sine wave, it's a fade out. Sine wave in. You have the random eyes where the eyes will look actually different location, and the pause and how fast they move is also completely random, which looks really cool in certain cars. The wild eyes, they just kind of bounce back and forth, center in the middle. And then here we go to the fade and strobe and specialty. I'm sorry, let's just call it fade and strobe. So all on is considered a fade and strobe. Left and right pulsing, dual pulsing, strobe, alternating strobe, random flash where it's broken into 6 patterns and is random flashing. And now finally you have your halogen fade. So this is supposed to look sort of like the original Knight Rider scan. You have a faded tail. The farther back the tail is, the more faded it is. And then basically, let me shut the light off to show the effect here a little better. The faster it goes, the longer the tail gets. And then if you go really, really slow, then the tail you see is actually really short. Now you're seeing some reflection on the diffuser, just it's a lighting effect from the camera. It doesn't look like that in person. So you have 3 of these specialty halogen ones. You have that one, you have this one, and then you have, I think this one looks kind of cool. It's like a version of the 2008 Mustang scan, but it has a faded halogen tail at the end. So let's go into create a favorites list. There are 6 different type of names I have here. You go in any one of these half bar, if you're creating your favorites list, basically all you do, so you're going to have to know what the names are when you're in scanner control. And if you like that scan, you know, make a list on paper, go through, checkbox whichever one you want. At the very bottom here, there's a little checkbox that says OK. All right, so those are my half bar. And you can go in the full bar. Let's say I only like the full comment, checkbox. You basically go down the list, every one that you want. When you're all done, you press exit. Of course, it takes you out because it saves back in, DSD Tech again. Now when I go into scanner loop control, I can scan only favorite scans. It'll do car show mode, favorite scans only, instead of running every single scan. That's normally how I run it at car shows because I personally don't like strobes and fades. I only like where the lights are moving back and forth. So I always run mine in favorite scan mode like that. Now, once you have a favorite list set up, so now let's say you go in the scanner controls here, and you don't want to have to go through all 34 scans all the time. There's only, let's say there's 10 that you like. You notice on the naming here, it says A right before the name. That means all scans. Now that a favorite list is set up, if I tap the middle button, now it's F. So now it's only going to scan through the few favorite ones that I have set up. And I think I only did 3 of them. So that's all I have now is just those 3. And if I want to go back, tap the middle button again, it says A, and now it'll go through all 34 scans. And that is pretty much it. That covers the full remote control and Android control. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me anytime. Thanks for watching.
Shining through the dark, the city's alive. Night Rider lights, they make you thrive. First scanning patterns make your eyes shine. 10 different speeds, it's like you're flying.